whale down here. Now you have a really important person downstairs. Oh, I'm hearing something. There's a blow at 1 o'clock. Off in the distance, maybe half a mile out. Good job. And a blow at 10. Oh man, are we surrounded? Alright, so we're going to keep cruising this way. We'll see which animals end up a little bit closer to us here. So you have Jake downstairs, guys. Get to know Jake. He's down there in the valley. He's
bên phải kìa.
Snacks available for you guys. Once again, feel free to grab an alcoholic beverage as well. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Yep. Get to know Jake, guys. And of course, we have Captain Doug navigating us through these waters. He's been doing this a long time, so you guys are in great hands. He's got eagle eyes out here, great at finding these whales.
Thấy cái bọt trắng trắng không?
Don't be shy. Feel free to get to know your crew today. We are here for anything that you might need. Whether you want to ask us questions or you want to get another beverage, let us know. But on that note, guys, I can talk about whales forever, but I want to cater this talk to what you want to know. So don't be shy. Ask me questions. Let me know if there's anything specific you're curious about. So a couple other things as we're cruising out here, guys. We are kind of in a little bit of wind chop, a little bit of swell out here. So always have a hand for the railing. But that being said, the captain has to be able to see to drive the boat. So we always want to keep his railing clear. So always keep the railing in front. He's okay. The railing in front of the captain clear, okay? If you forget, we'll just give you a friendly reminder. Don't take it personally, but we always have to be able to see it ahead of us so that you don't want to run into these whales, right? That wouldn't be fun. Awesome, guys. Well, thanks for coming aboard today. Oh, we see an explosion straight ahead at 12 o'clock. Yeah, I saw Body Park come out of the water. It's kind of in the sun there. It's getting closer. It's a great sign.
Không phải chiếc tàu. Nó chiếc tàu.
So as we're cruising toward this animal, I'll give you a little bit more background about humpback whales. So humpback whales are large creatures, as I mentioned before. They're 45 to 50 feet long. So if you're wondering what that looks like, the top deck of our boat is a great comparison. So from where I'm standing all the way to the stern of the boat, it's a pretty close comparison. Or if you've ever seen a yellow school bus, it's about the size of a humpback whale. But they weigh a lot, guys. They weigh about 1 ton per foot. 45 tons translates to about 90,000 pounds. So if you stuff 5 full-grown African elephants into that yellow ties. They're here for a reason. So these are the breeding grounds, guys. It is a really long migration. It's a 3,000-mile migration that these animals are making. It usually takes about 6 to 8 weeks for an individual whale to make that migration down here. So definitely quite a journey, quite a voyage. Oh my goodness, over there, 10 o'clock. I think there's 2 animals possibly here. Do you guys see that turquoise color? Wow. What a close encounter, that is so cool. So we have 2 adults here. So guys, if you're wondering why we're not zooming over on top of them, we are a sustainable whale watching organization, and as a humpback whale marine sanctuary here in Maui County waters, there are guidelines, so we can't get closer than 100 yards. That is actually pretty close, so these guys kind of surprised us. We're gonna go into neutral and see where they pop up again. But see if you can listen to the exhalation if they come back up. It can be really loud. Guys, so these whales didn't seem to go for a deeper dive. I didn't see their tail come up, which is usually an indication that they are diving deeper. But they can swim, right? So they could pop up in a different location, so make sure to look around you. So a little bit about that exhalation. We'll see if we get a nice clear sound of it here soon. But that is air coming out of their blowholes, right? So those blowholes, I say blowholes plural because they actually have 2 right next to each other. They basically look like nostrils on top of the head. Those are directly connected to the lungs. So if you guys have ever seen Finding Nemo, or maybe an illustration of a whale with water coming out of their blowholes, definitely incorrect. So if they had water in their lungs, they would be drowning. So basically, it looks like that big plume of mist shoots into the air, not because there's water in their lungs, but because water rests on top of those blowholes. So when they exhale at about a rate of 300 miles per hour. Super fast. So basically, anything resting on top of those blowholes gets vaporized, gets shot up into the air. So that's one of the reasons it's so loud. So I've heard different things about what I'm about to talk about next. I've heard that a human sneeze is 150 miles per hour, but I've also heard it's 30 miles per hour. Either way, if you ever sneeze...
Right there.
Oh! 4 o'clock?
Right there. Oh, I hear 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock?
I hear
2 o'clock. 1 o'clock.
So 4 o'clock we're seeing possibly 2 whales, and I heard something at 2 o'clock as well. Oh, there it is. So guys, I think these are different whales, definitely different whales than we saw earlier. So we are surrounded. So what I wanted to say about the sneeze is if you know how powerful it feels to sneeze, if that's 150 miles per hour, imagine sneezing twice as hard every time you exhale. That's what it's like for a whale. We got another whale at 1 o'clock. So we have at least 5 whales, I would say, in our direct vicinity.
Died though. They didn't die. Yeah, look,
There it is.
Archie.
Ready for the tail. A little bit. Nice. Oh, there are two animals in this area. So that's a different whale. When you
Oh,
see the tail
big one.
of a whale, when you see the tail of a whale, that means he's getting his body into a vertical position to dive down. Oh, there's 2 more whales behind us that are 4 o'clock position, maybe 500 yards out. So they're getting into a vertical position, putting their head down, their tail up to go for a deeper dive. Oh my gosh, another whale at 11 o'clock. So we are literally surrounded, guys. But you might be wondering if all of these whales are somehow connected, if this is one big group or pod. Well, humpback whales, they don't actually form family groups. They don't form pods. They're known as a solitary whale. They'll spend the majority of their life alone. Yeah, kind of sad. But if you are seeing 2 whales together, that is a very temporary relationship that most likely is only happening in the breeding grounds here. Because yes, they are here to mate. So it could be a potential mating pair. It could also be a mother and her yearling. So a yearling is a whale that is 1 year old. Or if it's a really small whale with a big whale, then that's going to be a mother and a calf. But those are the only relationships we see out here. Oh, I just had a great question. How deep do they dive? Oh, do we have one closer?
Wait.
8 o'clock? Hard to know where to look, huh? So I was asked, how deep do they dive? There's a whale diving right now. So it depends, of course, in the depth of the water they're in, but they will usually dive no deeper than 300 feet, which is a lot, so that is really deep.
I really wish I could sit here because then I can see. It's okay, you can share
When they're there.
Yeah, just look that way. Just watch all this way.
So if you're a 50-foot whale and you dive 300 feet, you can imagine it's not quite that deep, given your body.
Yeah, but we're much closer to the water. And they came right up to us. But they were different.
There, Jake, there, right there. Watch. Oh yeah.
Ooh, we're seeing some body parts coming out of the water there. It looks like a fluke or maybe even a pectoral flipper. So guys, the flukes, you're going to hear me say flukes a lot today. Flukes, when I'm talking about the flukes, that's the tail. Okay, 1/2 of a tail is known as a fluke. So together, both of those flukes are the flukes. And then you might hear me say pectoral flipper. So that's basically the arm of a humpback whale. It's got all the same arm bones as a human. But these humpback whales actually have the longest pectoral flippers of any whale species at about 15 feet. That's a third of its body length. So they're really big.
Sure, it's right there.
And they use those pectoral flippers to kind of maneuver around the water. They're very agile in the water here. Very graceful. There's still whales that are 1 o'clock position, just in front of that smaller vessel.
Hey, I'm Không,
get
em.
closer to this
Ở phía trước em.
group of whales we're seeing up here. I know there are at least 2 whales, possibly more.
Tới đây đứng để bây giờ.
So real fast, guys, I want to mention the difference between the feeding grounds and the breeding grounds. Obviously, there are obvious differences. They're feeding in Alaska, but I should mention they're not feeding here. So basically, they eat that krill and the small fish, which are abundant in really cold, nutrient-rich water. So if you've been up to the North Pacific, the waters there are kind of green, full of nutrients. Upwellings bring that nutrients and feed the microorganisms that feed small fish and krill. So they have abundant amounts of krill. But here in Hawaii, you may notice if you look over the side of our boat, our water is pretty much crystal clear blue. Absolutely beautiful. Not ideal for swarming organisms like krill and small fish, schooling organisms. We have nutrient poor water. These volcanic islands don't provide us with a lot of nutrients in our water. So we don't have their food source here. Essentially, when humpback whales migrate down to the breeding grounds, they're fasting or surviving on their blubber layers. So it is really important for them when they're in the feeding grounds to essentially gorge themselves, put on as much blubber as possible, because that's what's going to sustain them through their time here in the breeding grounds. So I got a great question. Do they prefer a certain depth? So I mentioned that they don't dive any deeper than 300 feet. So actually here in Maui County, which I'm going to describe really fast, Maui County is actually 4 islands. So we have Maui, which is basically spanning the front of our boat here. We've got Kaho'olawe, which is off of our stern, off of our 6 o'clock. We've got Lanai off of our 9 o'clock, and Molokai just around the corner from our mountain at our 11 o'clock. So those 4 islands make up Maui County, and in between them is a really shallow shelf. They actually used to be one connected landmass called Maui Nui, but when sea level rose, filled in this area. It doesn't get much deeper than 300 feet here. So for the breeding grounds, yes, they do prefer shallower water. They actually kind of, if you want to imagine this whole area around us as one big kiddie pool. So they come here to calve, they come here to give birth. They want really shallow protected waters because it's much safer for their calves. So that's one of the reasons why Maui County is pretty much a hot spot for humpback whales. It's shallow, it's protected, and also, of course, it's tropical warm water. So these calves, it's pretty essential for them to be born in warm water because they don't have a blubber layer yet. They haven't put on that blubber layer that keeps them warm. So if they're born in the frigid North Pacific waters, their survival rate is much lower. So being born in warm tropical waters is pretty key. So here in Maui County, once again, those 4 islands I mentioned creates this perfect sanctuary here for the calving grounds. And also it's very protected from predators. Does anybody know what the #1 predator for a humpback whale is? I heard sharks. Man, very good. So yes, humpback whales were actually almost hunted to extinction once from humans. Yeah, we used to hunt these animals. Their population got down to about 1,000 individuals in the North Pacific population, which is not very many at all. But then I heard, I'll talk more about that later, but I heard sharks. So sharks could definitely be a predator, but only for a sick or dying whale. So humpback whales are huge animals, right? So a shark's not going to go after a full-grown humpback whale. A humpback whale could easily shake off a shark. But the real #1 predator, natural predator in the wild, is actually the killer whale, the orca. So orcas, although they're maybe 15 feet smaller than a humpback whale, they hunt in groups, they hunt in pods. So they group together. They're highly intelligent creatures. What they're going to actually do is they actually hunt the calves. So they'll separate the mother from the calf, and that is their goal. So of course, being born in a place like the North Pacific, where they actually have large numbers, large pods of orcas, not ideal for your calves. So that's why they come down to these protected waters where we don't have the orcas, we don't have killer whales. There is an oceanic group of killer whales that have been sighted, sometimes off of Oahu. I've never seen them. It's very, very rare. So these humpback whales are very safe from predators here. So you guys might notice there is a little bit of a wind line approaching us. That wind